Good morning. Morning coffee time on Saturday. I have a lot on my mind today. It's been a roller coaster week. Super low, super high, and I think I'm coming back to some mid-range. One of the things that's really interesting is I shared my video content with a good friend of mine in Denver who is has worked in media for much of his career, and he one of the things he asked me was I wanted critique, and one of the things he asked me was who's your audience? And I said to myself, well, gosh, I don't know who my audience is, but I do know this. I have a message. I have something that I want to say, and I want to get it out there, and I want to do, as one of my favorite quotes says, be the change that I wish to see in the world. And the change that you want to see in the world is that, for me, that we are all more compassionate, we are all more empathetic, we are all reaching out to others instead of taking. Give love to other people. And the love is difficult in some cases because you protect yourself. We've had so much wounding that we're like so guarded, and to put yourself out there again is fear invoking. Topic that is on my heart this morning is intimate partner violence, and it takes from a minimal area. Everything's on a spectrum these days, right? From the minimalist area of these harsh the words and that hit our psyche, the verbal and the psychological stuff, into the physical and even the incredibly violent escalations, and we understand as a society that for years, decades, even maybe centuries, women have experienced this, and women's domestic violence issues have gotten attention for decades now, and this is a wonderful thing. And any other women like myself who've experienced this and have been traumatized in their lives through this understand how incredibly difficult it is to come out of that environment and be whole, and how easy it can be to be triggered back into some of those behaviors. And so, of anybody, we might be the ones to be able to have the greatest compassion. I would say when I first heard the term around male domestic violence, I might have been perhaps one of the more cynical ones, as I would imagine some of the other women who've been victim of violence themselves would also be. It's a trigger. And yet, as I sit here talking to you this morning, I have 4 known men in my life who have experienced this to one degree or another. One of them was extreme violence, one to the point of losing body parts. One was almost extreme, having physical injuries, and the other 2 were verbal and emotional. Obviously, we're talking. All 4 of them had verbal and emotional, but 2 of them didn't end up in extreme physical situations. And so I would tell you, learning of this for these 4 men who are near and dear to my heart, and watching them navigate the world and seeing quite frankly a mirror, because there too walked I one day in the past. Everything in me would say, hey, I can help you. Here's some resources. And so I go to my internet and I'm looking for the resources. And God damn it if there are no resources available for these men. There are no men's shelters. There are no the men's hotlines. There are the women's hotlines. The domestic abuse hotlines won't talk to men, or only recently are starting to talk to men. The help isn't available, and the immediate question is, well, what did you do to her? Let me talk to her. Let me find out, It's a similar and yet a little bit harsher line of questioning than women got. Because, of course, men are stronger and bigger, and a woman can't hurt you. She's a girl. She's littler. She's tinier. But here's the thing, we've taught our men not to ever strike a woman. I taught my sons that. Don't hit a woman. Walk away. Turn around. She's littler than you. Walk away. And so the social stigma, the ridicule from your boyfriends, your guy friends, they're not reporting it. For one, they feel inadequate. They're, you name it. Imagine. And so it feels like what we've got is a situation where for women we're so squashed down for so long. And when the release came, there's so much tension on it that instead of just coming, whew, okay, thank goodness, we can be ourselves, we can own property, we can have a bank account, we can be independent. And there was so much tension, it just rubber banded, way the heck over here. And now there's this toxicity in so many women that says F you to the masculine population. And there are women, if a man opens a door for her and he's just trying to be nice, they'll stop dead in their tracks and say, I can open my own door, thank you. And their position is, this man is telling me I can't walk through the door unless he opens it for me. That's toxic behavior. You can walk through the door just because the man opened it for you. If I open the door for a man, he's not stopping in his tracks and saying, I can't walk through that door because a woman opened it. He says, thank you. Where'd our gratitude go? Where'd our compassion? Where'd our feminine side go? Why do we feel the need to put men in their place? Where's the love? And I think that's my voice, is where's the love? Can we get this thing off of, it's like stuck on the wall. It's like rubber banded and then stuck on the wall. Can we get it back to mid-range where we understand that, yes, we don't need a man to put money in our hands so that we can buy our food. We don't need a man to buy a house. We don't need a man to pay our bills. We don't need a man to mow the lawn, although quite frankly, I'd like to have one. If anybody wants to volunteer every week to come by and do my lawn, that'd be lovely. Just so you know. I don't like that. We don't need it. I don't need a man for all these material things of life. I like one, but I don't need that, right? But we do need a man or a partner, whether if you're, if your sexual orientation is not towards that, you still need men. We need that. I'm not in a relationship, intimate relationship with anyone at the moment, but I need the men in my life, my male friends. I need their input. I need their compassion. I need their strength. I need that. And I'm not ashamed to admit it. I need that. There's a different energy in the masculine form. I need that. Whether it's an intimate relationship or not, there's intimacy in, let me back off of that word and say whether it's a sexual relationship or not. Because that's an intimate partnership of a different kind, when I can sit and talk to my male friends and say, listen, help me understand this, or can you help me understand that, or oh my God, my feminine self is freaking out over here and I'm all in my emotions, and they're like, whoosh, 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 bring it down, woman. I need that. So can we find a space where we can take our claws out of the wall over here of independence and not be so fiercely independent, and come back to settle in the mid-range? No, we are not going back here. We are not going back to this space of being dependent. But can we be interdependent, where they are dependent upon us, because they are, and we are dependent upon them, and they need us and we need them? Can we love one another? Can we be human again? Can we be human again? Just my thoughts. Coffee time. Have a great weekend.